Hey, folks, this is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce right here for the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast. It's not going to be a long one, going to be a short one, so it's a mini podcast. So stay tuned. We'll have more right after this.
This is Free America Radio Network. For more information, go to freeamericaradio.us.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
The view that America is part of what has gone wrong in our world, rather than a force to help us make it right, has become all too common. Yes, there have been differences between America and Europe. No doubt there will be differences in the future. But the burdens of global citizenship continue to bind us together. A change of leadership in Washington will not lift this burden. In this new century, Americans and Europeans alike will be required to do more, not less. Partnership and cooperation among nations is not a choice. It is the only way, the one way, to protect our common security and advance our common humanity.
The affirmative task we have now is to actually create a new world order, because the global order is changing again. And the institutions and the rules that worked so well in the post-World War II era for decades, they need to be strengthened, and some have to be changed. So we have to do what we do best. We have to lead. We have to lead.
Shall we play a game?
Did you know that the first Matrix was designed to be a perfect human world where none suffered, where everyone would be happy? And it was a disaster. No one would accept the program. Entire crops were lost. Some believed that we lacked the programming language to describe your perfect world, but I believe that as a species, human beings define their reality through misery and suffering. So the perfect world was a dream that your primitive cerebrum kept trying to wake up from, which is why the Matrix was redesigned to this, the peak of your civilization.
I am wondering, why are you here?
Hey, welcome, folks. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're enjoying your Tuesday. I know I am. Woke up, had something on my mind, and figured, you know what? I'll condense it down to a mini podcast. Lots of things going on. Lots of things happening. I want to mention this because it's something that is part and parcel of my shows. If I seem to have come off harshly, I just hope I made you think. If I say something and it makes you feel as if I'm attacking you, I'm not. I'm just very frustrated at the fact that people don't get it. And the vast majority of the people that do get it, I applaud them. Everybody else who calls themselves liberal or conservative and hangs around in the middle of that philosophy and ideology really don't get it, and they're just sheeple, and they're going to continue to do what they do. Doesn't really matter. So, in previous broadcasts and podcasts, I have mentioned that Free America Radio Network is scaling back a bit. We're still going to give you the truth with the facts. But I'm scaling back the network a bit to do this, to move forward. You know, if you're driving at 80 miles an hour down the highway and the speed limit's only 65, don't you think you need to take your foot off the accelerator once in a while? Yeah. So yeah, this is what I'm doing. So you can be a part of the growth of Free America Radio Network. So let me promote myself just a little bit in the network. You can go to freeamericaradio.us, donate through PayPal or Bitcoin. Or better yet, you got something to sell, you want to advertise, you can do that too as well. Not going to kill your advertising budget. I keep it that low for that reason. And you can also go get your emergency food supply by clicking on the links there on freeamericaradio.us. And you can help Free America Radio Network get to the next level by any number of means from the website. Free America Radio Network has grown over the last 4 years, but has become a little stagnant. We're now on cruise control. We need to take it off cruise control and get down the road just a little bit quicker. Okay? Not that we're going to wind up at a destination and that's it and okay, we're all done. No. I want to grow this network. I don't care. Within the politically incorrect environment that we currently live in, it's important to get the word out, to get the news out, to show you what's behind the curtains, who's pushing the buttons and pulling the handles. And that's just the way it is. So Free America Radio Network is not the alternative to the alternative, as Pete Santilli says about Guerrilla Media Network. We're not independent from the independent media. We're just someone on the sidelines encouraging others to get the word out as well by telling you the truth one fact at a time, and hopefully encouraging you to look this material up and go out and check this stuff out yourself and share it with others. So I really don't have a specific tagline that would give us the opportunity to show what our purpose is. Our purpose is to educate. Our purpose is to reveal. Our purpose is to analyze. Our purpose is all those to hopefully expose the real criminals in the United States of America. So, if you want to be a part of that, then your contributions to Free America Radio Network are very much appreciated. So go to freeamericaradio.us. You can donate through PayPal or Bitcoin. You can also, as I said before, advertise on this network if you'd like. It's not going to kill your advertising budget. I keep it low to benefit you. Also, if you want, you can get your emergency food supply on a couple of links there on the website at freeamericaradio.us. So there you go. Let's take Free America Radio Network to the next level and share the truth one fact at a time with everybody. Okay? Now, saying all that, I do have to say this as well. I don't know everything. I give you the information I see, that I research. I hope that you go out and look it up yourself and draw your own conclusions on it. I don't know everything, so I'm not going to give you the silver platter answer to every question that you ever have. You need to do your own homework. I'm not here to encourage you to do anything that is violent, because I do not condone violence, never have, never will. I do support defense, and that is where we're at this point, in a defensive mode against the criminals in Washington, D.C. We want to degrade and dispel and discourage and you name it. We want to rid this country of the tyranny we are now under. Period. Okay? I do not advocate violence. Don't go out and break windows or flip over cars or anything of that nature. I do advocate peaceful demonstrations. It's called civil disobedience, which is your right to do so. And I do support those who do that. But as far as changing this whole entire system, we've got no other choice but to defend ourselves against the system itself, coming against us and trying to put us out of the way. Now, I've had someone ask me, is the United States and the political system and the government going to collapse? My answer is an emphatic yes. But we need to replace it with something stronger, more defined, and with a firmer foundation, obviously. And that is why I advocate the rule of law of the Constitution for the United States, and that is prior to 1871. In other words, bottom line, for you laymen out there that are sitting there going, what? We need to get rid of the corporations in the United States of America that are supporting this tyranny, and we need to stop all corporate contributions to political parties. In fact, we need to get rid of the political parties. We need to get rid of a lot of things. 1, political parties. 2, the IRS. 3, the Federal Reserve. 4, a centralized government. 5, military-industrial complex. What do we replace it with? What is best and beneficial for the citizens of the United States? That's what we need to replace it with. But somebody's going to disagree with that. Well, that we can help them pack and leave the country. Now, let me remind you, though, one size does not fit all. Now, I was thinking about this earlier and taking some mental notes on this for this particular podcast. And I realized, having been a member of several Christian churches throughout my life, I realized just how intolerant they truly are. They don't like anybody that they cannot control. What? Yes. They do not like anybody that has any sort of esoteric ability ever. And anybody that comes to them and says, this is just a natural thing. This is who we are. This is, they want to lay hands on you and cast out demons. Why? Because that is what the environment has taught them to do that they were raised in. And that is the sole purpose of any Christian church, is to control people through massive amounts of religious psychological operations. Now, I say that, and I know that I'm going to get reamed for it, but I don't care. I've seen it from within. I've talked to associate pastors. I've talked to pastors. But not only that, I've talked to Taoists who are more in line with spirituality. I've talked to Buddhists who are more in line with spirituality. I've talked to Mormons. I've talked to Jehovah's Witnesses. I've talked to Catholics. I've talked to Presbyterians, Lutherans. Let me tell you something. It's all a religious psychological operation. It's all been created and manufactured and put in place and protected by this thing called the 501c3. Once you sign on to that and sign that little document to become nonprofit as a church, you are then and will then allow infiltration of your congregations by federal agents to spread their disinformation and their propaganda to suit their needs and the needs of their bosses. Now, let me say this, that's all out there and it's all real. Okay? I was thinking about it this morning. That you have these Christian churches that are not only intolerant, but they have this idea that you that you as an individual cannot think anything else other than what they want you to think. Sounds like another group of people called the federal government. Now, how do we solve the issues? How do we solve the problems? We solve the problems by getting rid of psychological operations. Now, how are you going to know if somebody's going to tell you the truth? How are you going to know if somebody is lying to you? How are you going to know if somebody's not pulling the wool over your eyes? How do you know if somebody's going to deceive you? Well, it's called discernment. And where does that come from? That comes from your intuition, your spiritual side. I don't want to get all preachy here, but I will say this. If you have a gut feeling that something isn't right, it probably isn't. Find a solution and solve the situation. Now, what do people understand as far as this government is concerned? Well, I'm not going to go down the list of what that is because it's too numerous to list, and it's from various aspects of people's perspective. People have different perspectives. They stand in different places, seeing things differently than somebody else. So it's too numerous to mention here. What are the solutions? What are the things that are happening to us that makes us stand in the crosshairs of the federal government? Well, first of all, don't put yourself in a position to where you're being targeted. Don't do it. I chuckle because I know a lot of people that are saying, well, there's nothing wrong with the government, and if you got nothing to hide. Yeah, you've heard that. It's not about hiding from something. Let me tell you something. They know everything about you. Why do you think there's surveillance all over the place? Why do you think they can track you by your cell phone? Why do you think they have cameras all over the place? Have you seen the shows? Have you seen the show Person of Interest with Jim Caviezel? Have you seen that show? Or the old show, I guess it got canceled, CSI New York? Was it? Now let me tell you something. They know exactly where you're at, what you're doing, who you're talking with, how long you talk to that person, where you shop. You know those gift cards that you like so much? They know what you do, when you do it, why you do it, and how you do it. And guess what? They probably even know when you go to the bathroom. I could be going overboard on that one and exaggerating just a bit, but probably not. You never know. So, what are the solutions? Well, you need to create the solutions that are best for you and beneficial for those around you. Again, I'm not going to give you the silver platter answer to everything because I don't know, and I could be wrong. I don't know everything. So you have to figure this one out on your own. So anyway, this mini podcast is brought to you by the Free America Radio Network. And you can be a part of that if you want Free America Radio Network to grow and to have more access to various places and get more information from various resources. Please contribute to Free America Radio Network. You can do that by going to freeamericaradio.us. You can contribute by donating one time. It's cool. That's awesome. If you want to do it more, that's cool too. But you can donate through PayPal or Bitcoin. You can also advertise if you're so inclined to do so. with Free America Radio Network. Go to the sponsors page, check it out. It's not going to kill your advertising budget. I keep it that way. Or you can get your emergency food supply by clicking on the couple of links that I have there at freeamericaradio.us. You can get as much food supply as you can. It'll benefit your family and it'll benefit Free America Radio Network. This is a listener-supported online radio program and network, and it's up to you whether or not we stay. As I said, Free America Radio Network is scaling back just a bit. We're still going to give you the truth with the facts. We're still going to pull away the curtain to show you who's pushing the buttons and pulling the handles. We're just scaling back just a bit to move forward. You know how you got to, you're think of it as a balloon, and I got to go higher, so I got to pull on the, fire up the old, gas jets into the balloon, but I'm not going any higher because I've got weight all around me. So I got to get rid of that weight to help me ascend. So again, scaling back some things and doing some things and kind of retooling the whole network. But it's going to be better. And you can be a part of that. freeamericaradio.us is the website. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, and even if you disagree with me, freeamericaradio@usa.com is the email address. That's freeamericaradio@usa.com. And I shall return right after this. Eastland Radio Repertory Theater is looking for you. Are you a voice actor? Do you want to hone your abilities? Please send your audition clips to Eastland Radio Theater at USA.com. We are currently looking for voice actors to fill certain character roles in an ongoing radio play in development. Please send your audition clips to Eastland Radio Theater at USA.com.
Have you heard about a show called Diane and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri? It's a talk show. Well, it's called Grab Bag Potpourri for a reason. They talk about everything under the sun, from education to politics, from lines at the cashier in the stores to parking lot drivers not paying attention. You want real radio? Well, you don't get any more real than that. That's Diane and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri talk show. Fridays at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a whole lot of fun.
If you are hearing this, you are the resistance.
Hey folks, how you doing? This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show mini podcast for the 14th of October 2014. Yeah. What a day, man. What a day. What a week. I've had some personal issues in my own family that had to be dealt with, and, I'm going to be out of town come Friday. So just as a reminder, the Views Express Live is off for the rest of the week because of the family issues. And I will be back Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Free America Radio Network at freeamericaradio.us and also Spreaker.com. Just search for Free America Radio Network. Lots of things are happening. Lots of tales that are being told, and that are complete and utter lies. First things first, briefly, freedom of speech is freedom of speech. No one can take that away from you. It's a God-given right that no government, no group, no nobody can take it away. Only you can suspend it, no one else. So when a group decides that they either want to protest a funeral or speak about their particular religious bent on life, and, They have that freedom of expression to do so, and they have the freedom of speech to do so. But when they cross that line, and that freedom of speech then advocates something horrible and tragic and deadly and satanic, then, of course, you have to defend yourself. I'm just generalizing, of course, but you get my point. I've had people tell me that Christians were the most deadliest people on the face of the planet. Really? I don't see them going around chopping heads off of people. I know that there are some people in certain quote-unquote Christian groups that go around bashing everyone else. But those people are wrong. Each and every last one of them. I know that pastors and preachers stand up behind a pulpit and yell at you and scream at you and try to teach you that if you don't believe their way, you're going to hell. Really? Why are they instilling fear in you? Well, I don't want to talk specifically about the Christians. I think pretty much people who are smart enough know exactly what's going on in that realm, in that arena. So no sense in me belaboring that. When you look at people around you and you ask yourself, how can I help them? What is the one thing that you have that can help them? Information. If you can't physically help them out, you can give them information as far as letting them know where they can get help. If they are who they are, in the position they are in, then that help will be received quite courteously, quite nicely. Okay, tried to use a big word there and couldn't quite pronounce it correctly. Kindly present your information. Kindly give that information to people that need it. That's what I try to do here on the Free America Radio Network with this show and also with the Views Express Live. But sometimes I just get so frustrated I have to tell it like it is. People are, taking that as me attacking them, and I'm not. I'm literally so frustrated that people aren't seeing what has to be seen that, I call it like it is. I mean, you don't sit there at a stoplight and say, well, there's nobody coming. Why shouldn't I be able to go? Right? So, you got to think about that one just for a minute. Point is, I'm just like everybody else. I'm frustrated with the system. And I tell you who's running the system from behind the scenes to let you know exactly what is happening in that regard, and I hope that you take the information I have, search it, research it, investigate it, go all the way to find out what it is you need to find out about the system. And don't get caught up in the propaganda on the state-run media, and don't tell me there's no state-run media. There is. It's all connected. George Soros, Media Matters, the whole 9 yards. It's all connected. All the scripts and all of the news outlets are done for a reason, to spread the propaganda and the lies and tell you that nothing is wrong. So, whether you like me or not my concern. Whether you want Free America Radio Network to go to the next level, that's up to you. I'm still going to continue to do what I do regardless. So in the meantime, I'm going to have another podcast sometime this week. Of course, the Views Express Live is off the rest of the week. And I'll be back Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Free America Radio Network. Go to freeamericaradio.us for more information. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, even if you disagree with me, email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. Again, the website, if you'd like to go check it out, is freeamericaradio.us. Come join me Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on the Views Express Live on freeamericaradio.us.